On July 23, 2012, Ichiro Suzuki shocked the baseball world when he was traded from the Seattle Mariners, the team with which he had become a global icon, to the New York Yankees. But this trade wasn't the result of front office maneuvering alone. Ichiro himself had requested the move, a rare decision for a player so synonymous with a single franchise. His request was driven by a mix of personal introspection, professional realism, and a deep sense of respect for the Mariners' future. At the time of the trade, Ichiro was 38 years old and in the final stages of a legendary career. He had achieved virtually everything possible in baseball: 10 consecutive 200-hit seasons, 10 Gold Gloves, a league MVP, Rookie of the Year honors, and an All-Star appearance in each of his first 10 seasons. But in the early 2010s, the Mariners were struggling through a long rebuild, and Ichiro was no longer the dominant hitter he had once been. His 2011 season marked the first time he had failed to reach 200 hits, and his numbers continued to decline in 2012. Privately, Ichiro recognized that his presence in Seattle, where he remained the face of the franchise, could be a burden to a young, rebuilding team. He believed that his declining performance didn't warrant the central role he still held. Rather than hinder the team's transition to a younger core, he decided to step aside. As Ichiro later explained, he didn't want to stand in the way of the next generation of Mariners players. But his motivation wasn't solely altruistic. Ichiro still had a fierce desire to compete at the highest level, and it had become clear that Seattle was years away from postseason contention. He longed for another chance at the playoffs and knew that opportunity wouldn't come in the Pacific Northwest. The Yankees, on the other hand, were perennial contenders, built to win in the short term. A trade to New York gave Ichiro a chance to contribute in October and extend his career in a role better suited to his veteran status. The trade was handled with extraordinary dignity on both sides. Mariners general manager Jack Durian-Seek worked with Ichiro to find a team where he could succeed, and Ichiro, ever the professional, agreed to the Yankees' request that he switch from his traditional number 51 jersey to number 31 out of respect for Bernie Williams. In a surreal moment, Ichiro donned the Yankees' uniform for the first time that same evening, in Seattle, and even bowed to the fans in right field during warm-ups. The crowd gave him a long, emotional standing ovation. Ichiro's request to be traded wasn't an act of disloyalty, it was a selfless and strategic move made by a player who understood both his own limits and his team's needs. It marked the end of an era in Seattle, but it also showed the grace and humility that defined one of baseball's most respected figures.